welcome back to another episode of From the Sideline. I'm your host, Troy, and I'm back in the building with the boys. How you fellas feeling?
Feeling good. It's almost playoff time. You know, that's the best time of the year for real.
I'm coming in hot, man. Did you see my little thing I did there with the countdown?
Hey, that was nice. Then
the intro dropped. You like that?
It was different.
You like that?
I thought y'all been had that. I've been missing a while. So
I just did that while I was in the background waiting for you guys. I just put that shit together.
I was like, okay.
I was saying like
this is new. That's what I was.
That shit came out hard. I kind of like that. OT in the building. What's up, OT?
What's up, bro? My bad. My shit was fucking up. But I hope I sound better.
Yeah, you got to work with the volume just a little bit, but you'll get it. You just got to work with the volume. No, it's just you sound a little. I don't know how to explain it, but just got to play with that volume a little bit. But like I said, it's new, so you got to get used to it. But OT in the building. Lamar is back in the damn building. Lamar, how you been,
sir? I've been, life been lifing, but I'm back. Life is good now, so I'm ready to talk sports and ready to, kick it with my guys, and it's the perfect time because, like I said, it's playoff time. You know what I'm saying? The best
playoff time.
7-game series time, so we get in there.
We got Boo Wop FTSL Wop in the building. What's up, Boo Wop?
What's going on, people? How y'all doing today?
We good, man. We jumping into it, man. I'm gonna start somewhere because we always got to start somewhere. So, did anybody hear of the Victor Wilmington, as I call him? I know that's not his name. There was a post that came out yesterday, and it said that he was not declaring for the NBA. He was going. Yeah. He was going to stay another year in college.
I seen it on Twitter, and then I couldn't find it anywhere else.
It was by but something sports. That was the guy who posted.
Yeah.
It was a troll account. Yeah, there you go. It was a troll account. It wasn't true. We were going to talk about it today, but we do our research over here, and it wasn't true. So I wanted to get you guys. What do you guys think? I just got one question. This is how we're going to start it off. What do you guys think the word around the NBA was when that shit hit?
I mean, if they thought it was true, if the actual GMs thought it was true, they probably were scrambling or in shock. But I kind of don't think they had, because like I said, I didn't see it on no major publication, so I don't think they knew it was a April Fool's joke or a prank. You know what I'm saying? I think they kind of knew it was a troll. But if they actually thought that, I don't know. I've been getting words that I've been hearing that, the rumor mill that he might not be the best player in the draft anyway. So I think there's some GMs that might be going with which I'm at a loss for his name right now, but bro from the G League Ignite. Let me
Scoot.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So that'll be interesting to see how it all shakes out anyway. But I think that would have been most GM's logical next move as well. If we end up with the number 1 pick, we're gonna go with Scoop.
And another thing, I can't imagine being like the Spurs and throwing away your entire season to get him, and then he stays. Or like the Pistons because Cade got hurt and it's kind of perfect because they could that's their excuse. But like, it's good that he's coming in. He's generational, but I couldn't imagine like sacrificing an entire year just for him and then for him not to declare.
What's the chance? Like a lot of he's only one player. They only get 1 pick. So like I understand they gotta have a backup plan already. They gotta have all of them. Like Wemby, we threw away our year. They must like how I look at this. If you're tanking, you gotta have at least. You just want to be top 3. You gotta have 3 options. Mm-hmm. There's no way you're tanking and you're like there's just this one guy and we're gonna throw away our whole season.
Yeah, no, 100%. Boo Wop, your thoughts on the April Fool's joke?
It was a joke.
It was a joke. It surely was a joke, I wanted to start it off like that because it is April, it's April 3rd today. So today's is my 2 older brothers' birthday. Shout out my 2 oldest brothers. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Wish you many more years to come. But let's get into it. Shout out to those audio listeners, because you guys been rocking with us, man. And we've been leaving y'all on the side like y'all ain't nothing. And that ain't right. So 5 minutes into the video, I thought I'm gonna make y'all think that this guy ain't gonna say it. Nah, I got you guys, man. Shout out to you guys listening on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, because we are up there now. And if you ain't listening and you want to listen, the links are in the description now. I told you guys last episode I am going to be dropping those links again in the description. I was lazy. I'm not gonna lie. I'm back at it. I had to compile them all in one place. There's a lot of them. So you got the Instagram link, the Twitch, the Twitter link, Facebook group link, all of our audio links, a Facebook link. That's all in the description. So, and if you're watching the video, make sure you hit that like button. And if you ain't subscribed, hit that subscribe button, man. We're doing big things over here. We got a big giveaway at 1,000 followers. So you're going to want to be a part of that. All right? You're going to want to be a part of that. Let's get into the show today because we got some new Hall of Famers that were introduced into the Hall of Fame. So I wanted to get you guys' thoughts on those Hall of Famers, which I believe it was Dwayne Dirk Powell, Tony Parker was the big names that headed into 2023 NBA Basketball Hall of Fame. Sorry, not the NBA Hall of Fame, the Basketball Hall of Fame. What are you guys' thoughts on those?
I think those four are all deserving. Dwayne Wade is probably my favorite player of all time. So like, he's probably my favorite player. So there's nobody more deserving than D Wade to me. Dirk for sure. It's almost like they were almost like unspoken nemesis through their career. So I think it's perfect that they went in together. And then Tony Parker and Powell, they were like the ultimate number 2 or number 3 to a dynasty. So like they're deserving as well.
I don't think you intentionally meant to leave someone out, but give Becky Hammond the credit too.
Who?
Becky Hammond.
Oh yeah, Becky. I was doing the NBA, but no, I did see. I do know Becky got in. No, I do know Becky.
Nah.
She definitely.
Becky.
She definitely.
She's great in the farm.
Yeah, I just referenced the ones you mentioned, but yeah,
she's up there with Dana Taurasi for me.
Right, first year as a coach for the Aces, they won the title. First year, she's all time right. She's on the top. I love her.
She won for surely one of the ones.
Everyone deserves it again, right? So.
Yeah, that's a great class. Like I don't have no arguments with that. Yeah, it's a great Hall of Fame class. Usually there's at least one you'll be like, I don't know, but this year it's like.
I think that was the shocking thing for me too. I think all the 4 players that we named, I think all of them are deserving, definitely to be in the Hall of Fame. I think they definitely got this right. It is good to see like, all right, yeah, to have a group of guys that get in and everybody's like, oh yeah, those guys deserved it, and to be like, damn, this guy got left off, and you put this guy in, like. If Robert Horry got let me stop.
Fucking there.
Could you imagine if everybody's sweet King Hart, Robert Horry got into the Hall of Fame? Only here. But yeah, great class. Let's get to it. I'm gonna say that for Moo.
2077, man.
I'm gonna say that for Moo when Moo gets here. Kings. The Kings are 6-0 when CP, Booker, and KD play.
The Suns, you mean? The Suns?
No. The Suns are 6-0 when CP3, Booker, and KD play together on the floor at the same time. Should the West be scared?
No.
Yeah, I'm not really. I don't. Is there anything to be scared of? Like the West is such a big cluster, and I don't think there's nobody who separated themselves from the pack. I don't think Phoenix has yet because it's really, at least until I won't believe it until I see it. They have the talent, but can they play defense? Is the question.
That's a fair question. That's a fair question. OTSC, you want to say something?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think scared is the right word. I do think the Suns are, I don't want to say clear. I think the Suns are the front runners come out the West. It's not because of 6-0 record. Okay, they haven't, the best team they beat, I believe, in that stretch was like the Timberwolves. or Dallas, who's not even playing. They're about to shut Kyrie and Luka down. So, I mean, they haven't really beat anyone when they've all played.
Luka and Kyrie didn't beat the teams.
Yeah, so I don't think they've proven anything with this lineup. However, I do think they're the best team in the West. They're on a streak. It's not always about what you do in November, December. It's about what streak you're on in late March, early April, going into the playoffs.
Catching fire, going into the playoffs.
They're red hot right now.
But this isn't the last 6 games, though. This is just when they played.
Oh, together. yeah. His Kitty got hurt. He slipped on the ball. Yeah, but I mean, I think they're the best team.
Then he dropped, 35 last night?
Yeah, 35. He started out slow a few days ago, but yeah, he just had 35. Obviously, booed the dog shit out of him. But no, they're great. And you want to talk about the defense? They are top 10 defensive rating. I don't know if you measure defensive rating like that, but I don't think they're a great defensive team, but I think they deserve a little more credit. Like Chris Paul's a good defender, and Josh Okogie is a very good defender. And yeah, I mean, with Monty Williams at the helm, he's a great coach, a lot of talent. They complement each other really well.
That's why KD went in, Monty.
Right, and I like them out the West. It's not clear cut at all, wide open. Like the Warriors can make a run, okay, and we already know where they're going to get. But I do like the Suns though.
Yeah.
I think they're a great team, but it should be some teams that are worried about them. Like a team like maybe the Kings, even though they playing very good right now, they should be worried about a team like that because they do got a lot of poise from the veterans, and they just ain't got the experience that I would trust in that series. But I do still think the Kings could beat them. But I wouldn't, if I'm Denver or the Clippers or the Warriors, I'm not afraid of them.
So if I'm in Denver, I'm kind of in my peripheral, like.
No, I'm not afraid of them.
Oh yeah, I don't have to be afraid. But if I'm the Nuggets, I'm going back to old Troy. This ain't this year True giving the Nuggets props. That's all out the window. I told you, Trucker and Whiskey Troy mixed together. You about to get some, but nah. I will say both teams healthy. Suns 3 versus Nuggets 3. I'm taking Suns 3.
I'm picking the Nuggets.
I'm taking Suns 3. There's no way I'm picking the Nuggets in there. I'm sorry.
That's a toss up. I would. You
could tell me it goes game 7. I'm still taking the Suns.
You have to threaten my mama or something to make me.
He said threaten my mama.
Because ain't no way. I'm like, bro, that could go either way. Like to actually
100%
put some money on that.
But I just think
putting no money on that's a
KD. I don't know. KD's just an X factor for me. He's just. If Booker and CP could do what he needs to do and facilitate the team, and Booker could be consistent in his scoring, KD is going to give it to you every night. Because now you can't do to KD what Boston did to KD.
Ooh, as a side note, that Rockets team CP3 on was great. Lob City was great. This is by far the best team Chris Paul's had. So I think that's a really big factor as well.
For sure, but he's not the same Chris Paul.
Oh, 100%. That's why I said facilitate.
He's not. Like, I'll be honest. And this is where even though KD just put up 35, but I don't know if KD is the same KD. Like, not saying he's not still a shell of KD, or 85% of KD is still a top 10 player, but is he still the same KD? Like, we kind of looking at it like KD with the Warriors or pre-injury versus with.
Now I'm looking at KD right now. Mm-hmm. I'm looking at KD when he came back from the injury from the Warriors. He played in 35 games, helped those boys get to the second round. Got injured again, came back in that second season, got to the playoffs, got fucked on by Boston. But that's just how the story.
He got eliminated. Like, all right, if you,
he got fucked on by Boston. I'm not taking that away. I'm just
looking at the current.
But then it's like he comes back this year and he's playing well. He gets injured. He gets traded. He gets to his new team. He starts playing well, and then he gets injured. He comes back and he's playing well, and it's just like, all right, so KD is just KD. That's what it is to me. It's just great? KD is KD. KD is KD, bro. To me, it's like even if he was to lose 10%, I don't think you would be able to tell.
But what does that mean? Like, nah. I disagree, bro. Like, I feel like you like overlooking that like how he looked last year in that playoff series. I'm a
Boston fan. Larry Bird's right on my wall.
You giving him You give
I
it from
said
your
he got
Boston
fucked
point
on.
of view.
I said he got
right?
fucked on.
You like my team just did a good ass job on KD. They just locked him up. Not he was a shell of himself. He couldn't get open. He couldn't move. He wasn't as elusive. He had his same bag, but it wasn't as it wasn't working like it used to. He wasn't just dominant to where nobody could stop him on the court. Didn't look like that last year in the playoffs. Now he's still KD, like you're saying, but he's not. He can't do it. He got Booker now. He got help.
But see, this is my thing, right? And you can say the same for this year, right? When we're looking at KD getting fucked on by Boston, right? Are we taking in everything else that went into that season and why, the turmoil and the camaraderie and the team? Because hold on, it's the same I say in the Bucks series, right? Giannis didn't lose him that series. Right, the others lost in that series. In that next series, Kyrie, KD, and the others lost in that series because even though Bruce Brown stepped up, Bruce Brown was supposed to be an option of scoring. He was inconsistent in game. He would have a good game, have a bad game, have a good game. So he was no help. Give me a player on the bench that Kyrie and KD could have used in that series that could have took some pressure off him when they wasn't on. KD was still getting buckets. It wasn't impactful. 100% wasn't impactful. I'm not taking up for KD's performance or Kyrie's performance. We made KD and Kyrie unimpactful.
It's not taking up
100,000
excuses for these.
No, people. I'm not making excuses. I'm looking at the whole story. That's not an excuse.
They could have played.
That's not an excuse,
bro. You make excuses, bro.
No, that's not an excuse.
Look at the teams they left and look at them now, bro. Stop it. Look at the Dallas Mavericks and look at the Brooklyn Nets. Stop it.
What does that have to do with anything?
Look at. They got better by addition by subtraction. They got
so the Mavs played the Mavs played
and that team got better.
Since Kyrie has got to the Mavs have won more games with Kyrie than with Luka when only one of them plays. Is that saying anything about the Dallas team? No, it's not. But the Nets team. Listen, I was very high. I was very high on this Nets team before they came into the season. Very high on. Boo, I would tell you. I had them finishing 3. Right? No, I had them finishing 3.
They was once they traded.
Once they traded,
play winning basketball.
No, they were playing great basketball up until right into that trade when they got traded. They were because they were at the bottom of the league and they made themselves right up into the top 4. And we can go back and look at the episodes of Troy sitting here like, I told you guys the Nets was going to be a top 3 seed, and they got there, and all of a sudden they blew the fucking team up. And then Troy sat back and was like, hey, I can't back these guys no more. And then Troy came up here 2 weeks ago and was like, hey, maybe Mikal Bridges is that guy for the Nets. Maybe you build around that guy. Maybe that's your option. So I understand what the Nets are, but I'm not going to equate them playing good to Dallas not playing good. And the Suns are playing good even when KD's not on the court. But to them not being there or them being there, what I'm saying is KD, what I mean when I say KD is going to be KD's still going to get you buckets. Like, he's going to get you those buckets. And, yeah, I get what last year is, but we can't sit here and look at last year like, all right, that's just it. That's what KD's going to give us every year. Now, if KD does that again this year, I will 100% jump on the bandwagon with you, Lamar, and be like, all right, yep, that's KD. He's shelling himself. It's still a good shell, but I can't say that because the guy has been dealing with 3 seasons of injuries. Anybody else, we give that so-called excuse to. Anybody else that so-called excuse they get it. Oh, he was injured. Oh, he was this. He was hurt. No, Ben Simmons is a different story. Don't do that, Lamar. Don't do that, Lamar. You know that. You know Ben Simmons is a different story. Don't do that, Lamar. Don't do that because you know Ben is a different story.
Kyrie and KD.
I'm not. I don't give a fuck about Kyrie and KD. I don't. But I'm just saying, like, we have to look at
the fan base. Basketball.
I don't care about making excuses. My team beat their ass last year. I don't give a fuck about making excuses for. Not to me. I'm just looking at the whole story.
Every time you keep saying that, like, I'm not. Eventually, I got to start taking the fact that you stay injured in my analysis of you. I have to start taking that into.
Oh, 100%.
KD can come back and 4 games go down and it's all over.
Right, but how you take that, you take that into your analysis and how I take that into my analogy is 2 different things.
You don't take it at all.
I do take it at all. You don't even
factor it in. Sure.
All right.
I do. What are you talking about?
Can I ask you a question?
No,
What's
I'm not.
the difference between KD now, like you said, he's going to get you buckets.
What are you talking about?
And what Carmelo was doing towards the end of his career. He was just getting buckets, no defense, just getting buckets. Just getting buckets. He'll get you 25 and
100%. But we're not going to sit here and say that's what KD is right now. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that.
Rings, he's getting there.
We're not going to do that.
If he didn't have those 2 rings, we would be saying the same thing.
Carmelo on the Lakers or on Portland.
No, Carmelo on the Knicks.
No, we're not talking. If you want to talk about his career, we can talk about it. But I'm not talking. I'm talking about in the conversation that we have. Go ahead, OT. Oh, you're muted. You're muted.
Okay, I don't know why.
There you go.
Okay.
I got you. Okay.
I see what y'all are doing. And because you want to bring up the injury, because you want to bring up the poor performance, I'm going to use this analogy because it pertains to standards are equal. 2016, he had to be that guy. Russ was the second option. We know he was. He chokes, doesn't play well in the playoff series, and then goes to a team that plays team basketball, a team that went to the championship that year. Last year, KD had to be the number 1 option with another point guard that's ball dominant. Doesn't play well. Tatum and Brown do their thing. Now we get straight to a team that plays team basketball with Chris Paul, one of the greatest playmakers of all time, DeAndre Ayton, one of the best interior scorers in the NBA, and Devin Booker, a guy that gets you 25 off the wing. It's not that KD has to be that guy like he was in the Boston series, like he was in the series against Golden State. He just needs to do his job, his role. His role is to play decent defense, play make, which I think is underrated. He's a very good playmaker, which he doesn't get credit for, and score. He's a 30 points per game scorer. He's a tremendous player, a top 15 player arguably in the history of basketball. And he doesn't need to he doesn't need to take 35, 40 shots a game like he was then. He just needs to do his job. And guys like Chris Paul, like I brought up earlier, guys like Devin Booker, guys like Ayton, guys that play their role, that takes the pressure off because the pressure isn't near the same. And I don't think we can act like Steve Nash is anywhere near the coach Monty Williams is. Okay, just like, who was it? Billy Donovan. He's not the coach that Steve Kerr is or that coaching staff. So I think it's hard to pick and I don't like that comparison. But the point is, KD doesn't have to be Kevin Durant. He just has to be a guy that does his job in his role, which is to score a shit ton of points, play make, and play good defense, which I think he will do. The injuries don't really concern me.
KD just has to be
KD. That sound like Kevin Durant, and then I don't still know if he's Kevin Durant.
But that's what the conversation originated. I still think I'm not ready to make the decision and say if he. And that's my whole thing. I'm not ready.
I'm not saying
to
he's
make
not.
The decision, Lamar,
I don't
and
know.
say that's what he is because that's what my team did to him. Like, yeah, could have. Say it is an excuse all you want. Could him getting injured late in the season have messed him up? 100%. Boston was hot going into the playoffs, so them coming up against Boston wasn't a good matchup. I didn't think it was a good fucking matchup. I really thought KD and Kyrie would play well, 100%. I'm not going to take them playing like shit away from them. But I give more credit to Boston's defense than I give to them playing like shit. I think we forced them into tough situations to play like shit because they didn't have nobody else on that team to rely on. James Harden was gone. They had nobody else. And if you listen, you got to think in playoff ball, you can focus on people and take them out the rhythm or let them go off. You can do either one. Take them out the rhythm or let them go off. What Boston did was play good defense and tough defense on KD and Kyrie and force their others to beat them. That Nets team could not have done that.
So how many scoring options do you feel like Brooklyn had in that series against Boston?
I think they were supposed to have.
Kyrie?
I think they
I'm just asking. How many did they have though?
Consistently two.
Two. Okay.
I would say consistently.
And I'm asking, how many scoring options did the Warriors have against Boston in that series?
In the finals?
One.
None.
He said one.
One.
Consistent scoring options. The same way you did the same, not consistent scoring options. How many did they have?
One.
I would say Curry.
And why couldn't they do that to Steph Curry?
Clay
wasn't consistent.
Clay wasn't that consistent, but he had good games.
He had some good games.
He wasn't consistent, but he had
Kyrie and KD was better than everybody else then on that team.
Those are two different teams too.
That's what I'm saying. But I get. Hold on, I want to go down the road.
You're telling me because let me finish my point.
Yeah, I want to go down the road.
You're telling me that they was able to lock them two up because they were the only two scoring options. Yes, they are two. They play different offenses. That's really it's two different offenses. I'll give you. Right. But the fact remains the same. They wasn't able to do that to the next team who only had one scoring option because those scoring options don't play winning well, at least Kyrie Irving by himself does not play winning basketball. I'm taking OT's point into consideration. KD, he wants to be the man. I think some of his decisions is I want to be the man, but he can't play winning basketball by himself. So he has to find a team like the Warriors, a team like the Suns. But we make excuses for them not playing winning basketball. That is my point that I've been trying to make. And you're like, I'm not making excuses. This reason, no, all those reasons become excuses at some point. They're not. They don't play on team after team after team.
Story like if I'm looking back on the season and he played 35 games, that means he missed 65. But that has to count for something. It's just the same way. About the same. Hold on, but this is that. But that was my point when I brought it up early in the conversation. It's the same way when people be like, Michael came back in 95, 96 when he played 17 games. We all sit here and be like, nah, you can't really do that. He was gone a whole year and he only played 17 games. That's not Mike yet. When Mike comes back a whole season, what he does. That's the only thing I'm giving to KD. It's not an excuse to me. It's what happened that season. You can take it as an excuse. You can hear it as an excuse. You can hear it as an excuse all you want. That's how I look at it. You can't tell me I can't. That's how I look at it.
You just left out a whole part of that though. When you bring Mike back up in 96, I don't care if Mike would have played 40 games. That team was not built well enough to stop Shaq. They were going to lose regardless.
Oh no, but that's not. I understand that, but that's not the point of what I'm saying. I'm just saying what people say is when Mike played that season, they count that season for Mike. A lot of people, LeBron fans, count that 17-game season for Mike. We would sit here and tell him it don't count because he was injured. He was out most of that season. We would say it. Even the season when he got injured the second year, we even said it on the show a couple of weeks ago. Yo, you can't really count that he only played 18 games the second year. He broke his leg. But that's what I'm saying. About that's KD not an excuse to me
for KD like that.
That's my point, Lamar.
You make. But see, that's you taking the conversation somewhere else, kind of.
No, that's where the conversation
because I'm talking. The conversation started is can the Suns win it all after being 6-0 when they all
should they be scared of them?
Should they be scared? And I said no, because I don't know if KD is really KD anymore. I'm not saying he's not, but I don't know. One thing one point you can say is he hasn't put together enough body of work post injury for me to feel like he's still himself.
No, if you want to say KD is injury prone, I'm not going to fight you on
can't.
If you want to say he can't stay healthy, 100%.
I can't say he's that.
But I'm going to include that into his season. That's just me. If he gets injured that season, I'm going to include it in.
But even in healthy seasons, when he's not, to OT's point, when he's not with a good team, he doesn't play winning basketball. Even in healthy seasons.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that. But you can't. Can we not say that for everybody? Everybody needs help. Everybody has to have.
No, that's not the. That's an excuse again. Like it becomes
not an excuse.
It's minimizing the point. You can't say that. You can't build a super team like Kyrie and KD did and say everybody needs help. They built that team, the super team, and then was not able to get out of the first round with it and lost back-to-back playoffs. And yeah, there were circumstances. But you cannot,
and that's all I'm saying, Lamar.
But you cannot.
I'm in the circumstances. That's where I'm at.
Continue to give those two dudes excuses for building super teams. If LeBron James did that, we would crucify that man. Let's be real.
But people do though.
If LeBron if LeBron didn't win a ring, if they went to the Lakers and AD and they didn't get that first ring, and they never won the ring this whole time, he would be getting crucified. Nobody would be talking about LeBron, about AD's injury prone, and that's why LeBron didn't get a ring. They'd be like, nah, he built that team. That's what he wanted. That's what he got. Keep it a bean. If they didn't win a ring in the Lakers, and it was just looking injury prone AD every year, you would.
But no, you're 100. People already saying that. People still saying that now. That they're still
he only got
even
one
with
ring.
The title. But even with the title, I don't think they blame that. I see what you mean 100%. 100%. But for me, like I said, I'm gonna stick to my guns. We can go at it all day. I don't look at it as excuses. I look at it as the circumstances that were in that's included in that season. If you want to call that excuses, then call it excuses. Then that means everybody has an excuse because everybody goes through something.
I'm saying over
that means if Golden State, if I want to use an excuse, Troy would say something like this. If Troy's using an excuse, just so you guys know what an excuse from Troy is, this would be an excuse. The Warriors lost this year because they didn't have Wiggins. That would be a fucking excuse. That's an excuse to me. I'm not saying that to KD. KD was hurt. There's nothing you can do about your superstar being hurt. The rest of the team ain't going to be able to carry unless you have a number 2 that can sometimes step in the number 1 role and carry a team, but cannot do it consistently.
I might say Andrew Wiggins the second best player on the Wizards. I mean,
oh no, 100%. But that's why when he asked that question earlier about who was consistent on the team, I was going to say Andrew Wiggins, but I just can't. I don't know if Andrew was that consistent on the scoring end. And that's what we were talking about.
He wasn't a consistent scorer.
But he was consistent on the defensive end. Yeah, he was consistent on the defensive end. That's what I was thinking of.
What I mean by excuse, I don't mean about in the concept of one singular season. I mean, when you look at the totality of their career, like if at some point, like that's what I'm really saying, because at some point, like I think Steph Curry and LeBron get overly criticized while KD and Kyrie get a lot of leeway. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of
I don't think
not KD, but Kyrie as far as the basketball community.
You know
what I'm saying?
Well, what do you mean by that?
I mean,
do you mean on the court or off the court?
On the court. I still have debates with people to this day on the bus everywhere that Kyrie Irving has a better legacy than Steph Curry. And it's madness that it's even a conversation.
We ain't there.
It's madness. And so it's like, but
we ain't there.
And so it's like, all right. And when I start to look at it, I said, okay, how is this even a thing with these two players? And I say, okay, it's because the circumstances that you was just bringing up. Every circumstance you said, I've heard from 1,000 different people.
Oh no, 100%. I know. That's why I say I hear you. I know exactly.
And so then it becomes like, well, but that's all beautiful in the scheme of one season. But when their career's over and they only got one ring, and you look at the 27 all-pro players they play with, you're not going to care about none of that. The circumstances is going to go out the window. He played with 30 all-NBA players and that's one ring. I don't want to hear that.
All right, so what if he played with 30 all-NBA players, but he averaged 17 games a season, but he played 10 seasons?
I mean, he injury prone, and that's an
100%. But that's where I was going. But that's what I'm saying. It wouldn't be an excuse to me, because we can look at a guy like Grant Hill. Are we going to say excuses derailed his season? No, real circumstances derailed his season, like derailed his career. Those are not excuses. If I say Grant Hill was never able to reach his full potential because of his injuries,
that's not true, though.
That's not an excuse.
But we don't speak of Grant Hill in the same breath as we might speak about his prime like that.
No,
but like
I'm talking about the only reason why I bring
just said KD is a top 15 player.
Right, no,
and I said without the rings he got from the Warriors, I don't think we would even talk about him like that.
No, he'll still be in the shooting conversation, but I don't know without the rings. But what I bring up Grant Hill just because of how the injury affected his career. And Bua, I get where you're going. You could say he was in his prime before the injuries really took a toll. But a lot of people still thought you would get more out of Grant Hill than what you got out of him. And we can't sit here and say that's deniable. That guy was supposed to change the league. That's what he came in to change the league. He wasn't able to do that because injuries derailed his career. And I'm not saying to me, that's not an excuse. Sam Bowie breaking his legs 4 times. That's not an excuse. That's all I'm saying. If a guy gets injured, I don't look at it as an
in his first 6 years.
Huh?
I mean, I think the good player, but I didn't see no game changing player in the first 6 years. He played 6 straight years.
Well, I'm talking
games.
With the scouts, and everybody was saying back then, that was the word on. We know what the talk on Grant Hill was in basketball. That's what I'm talking, not the fan perspective, but the game perspective.
I know I get what you're saying. Like before he got into the league and all that good stuff. But I'm saying once I see you in the league and you done showed me who you are, I'm not giving you that after the fact no more. I'm not giving you the what if. Like I seen a player that could not get that Detroit team at the first round of the playoffs. I seen that.
No, 100%.
So I got to take that into my consideration that you might not be as good as advertised.
Right, but that's what goes into what Lamar, and that's why I agree with Lamar when Lamar is saying, like, at some time we do have to stop and just look at the whole career. But still, to me, if the nigga's injured 5 out of his 15 seasons, I got to look at that like, yo, he wasn't healthy 5. So
but you're going to say he could have been.
I'm not. They will. You're right. Fans, other people will.
You're not going to go, he's a top 15 player. At the end, you're going to go, he could have been a top 15 player. You know what I'm saying? We've anointed him already.
No, I haven't. I don't rank out the player. So I get what you're saying, though. People have, because I hear people ranking Giannis in their top 10 right now, and that's crazy to me. So I get exactly what you're saying, and I know KD does. He does get some slack, but he does take a lot of heat. And the same with Kyrie Irving on the court and off the court. Like I think a lot of people praise his skills on the court.
Off the court.
Yeah, he takes more heat off the court, but he does take a lot of the blame when the teams are not going well. When Kyrie first got to Dallas, those 5 games they lost, they always blamed on Kyrie. It's the same with Russell Westbrook, right? He went to the Clippers. Clippers start losing. Oh, it's Westbrook. But now then they start winning. Nobody's saying nothing about Russ. We don't hear nobody saying nothing about Russ now that the Clippers are winning. Now they figured out how to use Russ. We don't hear anything. So that's what I'm saying. I get where you're coming from with the fans and the narrative. I'm not using it as and Boo-Wop and Lamar. I'm not using it as how they use it. You're 100%. A lot of people do use that shit as excuse. I'm just saying when I look at it, I have to take in the fact that he wasn't healthy those seasons. Even if he came back and played the end of the season, Jordan in 95, 96. Like if Jordan wasn't injured, it's a different thing. But like if you're not healthy, it takes. I know. Like I play ball. Like I know your body's going to take a while to get back into basketball form. It is. It's going to take a while for you to get back in that rhythm. Not every guy can come out and be a Kevin Durant and just be able to drop 35 any given night because he's a great shooter. And that's what I'm saying. Like my original point was KD can be a shell of himself. He's still going to be KD.
He's still nice.
Because the one thing he's always going to be able to do is shoot the damn ball.
Let's get a bucket. He a walking bucket. I ain't knocking that.
Even if it changes from him doing this little tween pull up to pick and roll corner pull up or screen off the screen pull up. Like it might change as he gets older, but KD is still going to be KD. I don't think that changes. If people think Kyrie could play another 10 years, then KD got to be able to play another 7.
Neither one of them got that many.
I know, Boo. I agree with you, but that's what the talk is. Curry could play longer, and I think if KD, it just depends on. It's not at the role. I know when I bring this up, Boo, you always think about at that level. Nah, their levels will, as they go on, their levels will have to drop. Like Curry could still be a starter. I don't think either
one of them will want to play once they have the bench.
Once
they roles drop. I don't think either.
They do the Carmelo.
Carmelo was ring chasing. That's why he did what he did.
Yeah, a lot of them.
I'm saying when he didn't want to come off the bench.
Yeah, and then he came back because he was ring chasing. But yeah.
Oh no, 100%. He was trying to put that because I think he realized that you need one of those things to be in that conversation. You need at least one of those things.
The difference between Steph KD versus a Carmelo is the efficiency. Mm-hmm. Those guys aren't black holes. Like they not gonna stop the offenses. Carmelo will stop your offense and stop what you're doing. So that's why they gonna simply be able to play longer than that and not hurt the team. Carmelo needed to come off the bench because he's gonna hurt your start
team. Yeah.
So.
I wanted to add this to Troy's point and to Lamar's point about the circumstances. Yes, it's very fair to take everything into consideration, but what's the best skill in basketball? Is it shooting? No. Is it scoring?
No, it's availability, 100%.
Is it the best ability in any sport, any job? You got to show up. It's availability.
But if I jump up and I come down and I tear my ACL,
it's not your fault. Exactly.
That's not my fault.
It's not your fault, but it's still.
So sometimes
you have to.
Excuses aren't really excuses. It's just the reality of fucking things. When Sam Bowie was fucking
all right, but
when Sam Bowie was in shoot around and he broke his leg shooting around, nobody was like, "Yo, Sam Bowie, bro, that's your fault."
You can't leave exceptions because some people, Jordan, he played like 81 out of 82 for like whatever year straight. His body's just able to do it. It's not certain people's fault, right? It's not necessarily your fault because you can't control it. KD didn't want to tear his MCL. He didn't want to tear his Achilles. You know, obviously you don't want to. It's just like it's tough titties. Like I don't really know what to say. Like it's just it's
a hard thing to discuss when it comes to injuries, and that's why I went to it's an excuse because you can't really like it's like there's no defense for that. If you just thought, well, he's injured, like what do I say to that? You know what I'm saying? Really, other than
stop being injured.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And but my point is that you're never gonna. But with that, Penny Hardaway, when I was a young kid. Penny Hardaway might have been the best player I ever seen, even better than when I was a kid. He was my favorite. He looked better than Jordan to me. You know what I'm saying? But he got injured. Mike didn't.
But what Shaq say? What did Shaq say about Penny?
So
what did Shaq say about Penny?
Nobody's saying Kobe is Penny was better than Kobe or better than Jordan. But
what did Shaq say about Penny?
Him play, you wouldn't say he wasn't as good as them when he was playing, but he got hurt. It's just
what did Shaq say about Penny?
He said he was the best player he ever played with, or something to that effect. And they was like, better than Kobe. And he was like, and he looked at them like they was crazy. Like, what you thought? Like,
like Penny was that dude. Penny was that. Mulich is in the building.
How y'all doing, man? How y'all doing?
Great.
I will say, to speak on the injury point, I will say there are certain things as athletes we can prevent or we can do to prevent certain kind of injuries. Coming from somebody who's tore his knee, my doctor has expressed to me there's multiple things that athletes can do to prevent or negate some kind of injuries. Out not talking about age or anything like that, because age does play a part in some injuries as well. But when it comes to certain conditioning or certain strengths or certain training methods or certain workout regimens, there are certain things that players can do that can take into their own hands that can neutralize or lower the percentage of them sustaining a specific type of injury. For example, when I tore my knee, my doctor told me straight up to my face, he was like, yeah, your quads are weak as hell. Your quads are weak as shit. And he said, this is the reason why you tore your knees. The reason why a lot of athletes tear their knees is because they don't focus on the specific workouts to strengthen your quad, not only your quad, but your shin, because all that is connected to the tendons in your knee. Mm-hmm. So you have to be able to take those workouts seriously and be able to focus on those workouts on those muscle groups in order to strengthen that part of your body so that doesn't happen. Now, I'm not saying that everything is perfect and that shit is 100% fail proof, and that even if you do that, you won't get injured. No, that's not what I'm saying. But there are certain things that athletes can do to take into account to help themselves get injured less. And ever since I started focusing on more quad workouts, more lower leg workouts, especially strengthening the knees and the quads and the hamstrings, because all that has to do with knees and tendons. I haven't torn anything since, and it's been 6-7 years. So there is some truth, there is some validity in what he says, but like I said, nothing's ever guaranteed. Stuff is gonna happen.
What they need to do is just take a sample of LeBron's tissue, multiply it, since he can heal from a torn tendon in 2 weeks.
Hey, LeBron is.
But I would tell you this. Story time.
Take something from him.
Weird thuggish. This is a weird thuggish story time. If you made it to this part of the video, hit that damn like button. And if you ain't subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe. Shout out to our IR radio listeners, Google listeners, Apple listeners, Spotify listeners.
Damn, what's the last thing you said? What was the last thing you said? I know what I want.
It's not. It's basically it's not guaranteed. Like it does happen.
Injury or recovering from injury.
Yeah.
I had my jaw broken when I was younger, and it normally takes. I have a plate here and I have a plate here, 2 plates in my jaw, one here, one here. It normally takes 6 weeks. My jaw wired shut. I cut my own wires out. 2.5 weeks in because I wanted to eat, bro. And by that time, my jaw had healed, and it was only by the luck of God that my jaw had healed that I didn't have to get those wires put back on. But a 6-week process took me 2.5 weeks. So I understand what LeBron's saying for everybody, guys, and for all the people out there like, oh,
hold on.
They tripping.
Wait a minute.
My shit healed real fast.
Wait a minute, Deadpool.
Like, yo, what the fuck?
Hold on, Deadpool. Don't run from this conversation, Deadpool. No, ain't no way you just talking about you cut your goddamn wires out.
Oh, hell yeah. He gave me a wire cutter. No,
like Wolverine and self-healed in 2 weeks and shit. Bro, what is wrong with you?
Hey, he should have never gave me wire cutters.
They should have never gave you money. Should have never gave you his money, because ain't no way.
So one popped. So I only had 3. And then another one popped. So I only had these 2 with this one in this corner here. And I'm just sitting here like, damn, bro, they gonna pop. He gave me the wire cutters for a reason, bro. I'm just telling myself, like, he gave me them for a reason. Snip. I was free man, bro.
Hey, y'all be X-Men out here. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, because there ain't no way.
I still have the picture of my jaw too.
You're gonna have to show that send that to the group.
Yeah, I got you. I still got the X-ray picture. Buab, you was gonna say something though.
I'm just gonna say all I know as it pertains to injury, bro, like if it keeps happening to you, eventually I have to take that into consideration. Like if it's happening every year where you banged up, eventually I'm gonna have to start saying you're probably not the same player. like eventually.
I got
to.
Definitely that.
I got that. All right, Wiggins is back.
Seen that.
Wiggins is back, man.
I hope his dad is all right.
Do you think this makes a difference in the Warriors seeding?
Yeah, right.
It does, but I want to say something real quick for everybody that try to come up with that bullshit story about him and his wife and all the stuff like that, sleeping with him. Yeah, you guys are fucked up. I want you guys to know that right now. Everybody on social media, everybody that started that rumor, y'all are the biggest losers. Y'all are the biggest no lives of all time, bro. Because to do that when that man was going through something, especially that has to do with his close family member, aka his father, because that's what the details have just came out, and it said that he was dealing with his father because his father was dealing with a very, very difficult sickness. So for everybody to come out and say that his wife was doing some crazy stuff and the kid might not be hit, bro. You guys are the biggest low lives ever, bro. And I want all you guys to sit up there and eat everything that's coming your way. Promise you. But yeah, that's what I want to say about the A. Wiggins thing. It might not change anything. But I wanted to stand.
We can move on from the Wiggins now.
I wanted to start with that, bro, because that's everybody on social media, everybody on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, because everybody let that rumor run wild and run rampant, bro, and nobody ever even knew the details of what happened, and everybody let that shit blow up for no reason. So I want everybody to sit back and reflect and think about the bullshit that y'all say on social media and how it can affect people, bro, because y'all really had his wife or his girlfriend,
she had to respond,
come out on social media, on Twitter, and respond to that. When her husband, when her boyfriend, the father of her children is dealing with something that what most people deal with, we can't deal with that on a normal basis. And not only is he an athlete, he's in the public eye. And y'all are sitting up here trying to make these rumors because you think it's funny, because you're trying to come up with clickbaits and clout or whatever the case may be. That's not okay, bro. Stop doing that.
100%. But yeah,
no, I don't think the Wiggins thing, for me, it helps them, but I just don't think Golden State been playing like Golden State all year long. And I don't believe in the proverbial switch. You can turn it on when the playoffs come. I don't really believe in that. Like I mean, when the Lakers was three-peating, trying to three-peat, with actually go to their fourth straight finals, I was looking at that team like, I don't know. The regular season, they wasn't playing too well. I seen Kobe doing a lot of extra carrying. Like, that's not something you want to see from a championship caliber team. You don't want to see your star player overexerting himself in the regular season. I don't mind it in the playoffs, but not in the regular season.
And you right, because you see Curry doing that a lot. And then with the Warriors, I actually believe in the switch, but I believe you have to have turned it on at some point during the season in order to turn that shit back on in the playoffs. And they ain't turned it on all year. They ain't looked like a championship team for a consistent stretch all year. So I'm like, how you just gonna turn it on in the playoffs? Like, you ain't turned it on all year. You're not just gonna find it. It's like they lost it. The switch is somewhere. They can't find it.
And I have two minor points to that. One, it was a Brian Windhorst thing saying everyone wants the Kings, everyone wants that sixth spot. They lost to the Jokic-less Nuggets, okay? So I think that's an issue. You want to talk about turning it on, it's hard to turn it on if you're purposely losing for a spot, for one. And for two, I don't think the Wiggins, this doesn't mean you're comfortable picking them to go far, but it does mean that is a hole in the team that voided hole is filled now. So you feel better, but you obviously... Yeah. You definitely feel better, but you don't feel like
it would be better if GP was there. Did GP come back yet? No, right?
Yeah, GP came back.
I'll believe it after the first. If they make it, to be honest, if they depends how they look in the first round. If they look formidable in the first round, because I know Wiggins gonna take some time to rev up, but if that defense start looking like it looked, my whole stance would change. I'll be like, you know what I'm saying? But I gotta see it first.
It's about consistency right now.
The two teams the Golden State can't lose to: the Grizzlies and the Nuggets. The two teams I don't want them to lose.
It's about consistency right now.
Listen, Boo, I didn't say who they could lose to. I said I don't want them to lose to. All right.
Why you don't want the Nuggets to beat them?
Because I don't want the Nuggets to beat them.
Oh damn, Troy.
It's been all year. It's been consistency. Thank you, Mulich. It's been about Troy's being consistent on the Nuggets all year.
It's about consistency.
Well, all
bro.
2 years, last year and now this year. I don't trust him, bro. I just don't. Playoffs is coming. Troy get to show it true colors now. How you feel about the Nuggets? I don't give a fuck that they don't moment seed. All right, fuck Jamal Murray. Fuck Bubble Murray. No,
again, they don't play winning basketball. They don't play playoff basketball.
That team is that system is garbage. It will never win a championship.
Like and until I see it,
I mean, we ain't seen them healthy in 2 years. Is that
that's what I said. I just said until I see it. You know what I mean? I was gonna make another crazy statement. You know what I mean?
Need to see it, boo up.
Until I see it. But
you seen it? I mean,
but the same thing applies to KD applies to Murray though, bro, and Porter. They ancillary pieces.
Porter Jr. 100%. I can't stand
both of them dudes don't be healthy, so we can't keep saying that. The best ability is availability.
See, I told you getting Trucker Troy Whiskey Troy. Who is this dude? But who is Michael Porter Jr.?
You can say that about Porter. You can say that about Porter Jr. because we know he had an injury coming in.
Back injury coming in. Injury is first season. Injury is second season.
I can't say that about Jamal Murray.
No, not Murray. He had one injury. Yeah,
he's been back.
But he ain't looked like it. Has he looked like? Or maybe it was just.
He's been playing decent this season.
Maybe it was just the bubble. But he ain't looked like he got back to bubble level.
No, but we don't even know if that is his level. We don't know if that's the level. I've been telling you, we don't know if that's
exactly
the bubble. Hey, the bubble made some people, bro. They made some machines.
The bubble because
like MJ Warren came out the bubble.
Where's that Murray at?
Where's MJ Warren?
I don't think we're gonna see it.
Can anybody tell me when we will ever see MJ Warren?
That
again?
Murray might get. They might be able to do some things with that Murray.
No. Tell me when we're going to see MJ Warren again. We ain't never going to see MJ Warren. That would never. The bubble brought out extraordinary things.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's what they do.
I would give y'all on that is that Jokic was not as good as he was in the bubble. He's a totally different player from the bubble. Mm-hmm. So I don't need Jamal Murray to be bubble Murray if Jokic is going to be MVP Jokic. I need Jamal Murray to give me 20.
I think he gotta be. They need two.
They need Murray. They do because we seen last year.
I didn't say they need him.
No, I need him. No, I'm saying on the level that Lamar. So they need him to step up to that.
But he need to be close down.
Yeah, he need to be close to that. He does because you could. That system fails in the playoffs. It does. They could win a couple of games, but that system fails in the playoffs because the system always goes back. I can say because it always goes back to Jokic.
You can't say that.
It goes back to Jokic.
Jokic is not. You cannot judge Jokic in the bubble yet, and you can't judge him.
I'm judging him over his last 2 years.
I judged him
last year and the year before that.
Okay, so you're gonna judge him without his second and third best player.
But we can't keep doing. You can't. Best ability is availability.
All right, now can I listen? It's not excuses.
We can't pick and choose. Why? That's like them two dudes ain't been there since they've been there. Like who are they? Like
and Jamal Murray thinks that
they have no trade value. They have no trade value because they ain't there.
That's not true. That's not true.
No, MPJ got trade value. He does.
Man,
Murray too.
They got trade value. They both got trade value.
They got trade value, but it's the consistency.
The one thing about one thing about
hey, I'm gonna be real.
I don't know what player I'm gonna get.
The one thing about MPJ, they have to get the Warriors, both of them, to get Jordan Poole.
The one thing about MPJ, if you look at that one season that he had, he was very efficient. And if you look at this season, if you look at this season, he's very efficient. So a team will buy that. Mm-hmm. They will buy him being efficient. Now, can you buy him being healthy? No, I think you would have to sell him being healthy. But you can buy him being efficient. You keep that kid healthy. That's a dangerous thing there. But for me, the system is always going to go back to his best part, the best piece of it, and that's Jokic. And I don't think the system you can win a championship with that being your focal point, your piece in the machine.
Other than Giannis, I don't think there's been a big to win I don't think you could. Till I see it again, a traditional big is winning a championship in this era. It ain't happened.
Yeah, but I can't. To me, the difference with Jokic is that for the most part, unlike KD in these last couple of playoffs, Jokic has played phenomenal. And he's
but you know what? And he's not a bad. This is where I say they don't play playoff winning basketball, and this is why I say that it's not. I agree with Troy on the system, or it's Jokic. It's whatever, however you want to look at it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can break it down better than me. Y'all have more X and O's knowledge than I do. But when I see them play teams like the Warriors, what happens is the Warriors go ahead, Jokic, pass, go have 25 assists. Let them other niggas beat us. It ain't finna happen. You know what I'm saying? And it don't happen. That's what everybody do in the playoffs. Go ahead.
And that's what I'm saying. With Jokic, that's what everybody's going to do. They're going to make Jokic, hey, you want to be a playmaker, be that playmaker. Go ahead, get your team involved. All night. Just like Boston, you're going to have to beat us. Your others are going to have to beat us. Can the Nuggets others get a game or two? 100%. 100%. Yo, hey, and Joker could get him a game or two. They might go to game 7. But that system is always to me, until I see it works, that system to me, it's always going to fail. If it has to go back to Jokic, when all else fails, it goes back to your center. Nah, I don't think this ain't the 80s and 90s, bro.
But since
because when all else fails on the Warriors,
can we be real?
But when all else fails on the Warriors, who does it go to?
Who does it go to?
When all else fails on the Warriors, it goes to his most important piece. Who does it go to? When all else fails on the Lakers, who does it go to? It goes to his most important piece. When all else fails, right? When the system isn't working or the team isn't, the scheme isn't, the ball goes to the best player on the floor. It goes to that best player.
That's why I think Murray got to be better.
It's going to go to Jokic.
It ain't Jokic, though. It ain't Jokic's fault, though.
No, it's not his fault at all.
It's Murray and them other people got to be better. Like, what? Even the point I made.
To say that.
You got to get in there, man. Can't keep raising your hand. This ain't college.
Go ahead, OT.
Okay. It's not all Jokic's fault. I don't think anyone thinks that. He might win the MVP. We know Jokic is, and it's not his fault. But I look at matchups. They're built to be the first seed. They're built to be phenomenal 82 in an 82-game season. They're not built to win championships because, A, the only paint presence not named Jokic is Aaron Gordon, first of all. You don't win championships if you're not good down low in the post. You're not good if you're not getting help from your next best players. MPJ, inconsistent shooter. Sometimes he's great. Sometimes he's cold. Jamal Murray, very inconsistent. I don't give a damn about the injuries. Ever since the bubble, he's been very inconsistent.
Thank you.
Okay. And it's not on Jokic, but if you're not getting help from the other guys, you're not winning. And it also boils down to Mike Malone, who gets no flack whatsoever. I think as a coach, he does deserve flack come playoff time. And you want to talk about upsets? I think the Grizzlies are a team. But the Nuggets, do they want to see a Zion Pelicans team that can run and gun, that can defend the perimeter, that can bang down low with Valanciunas and Zion? No, they don't want to see that. Jokic is going to foul out. They don't want to see the Timberwolves either. Cat's back. They got Rudy Gobert 3 times defensive player of the year. Anthony Edwards is getting healthy.
I said right.
Thank you. Mike Conley, he's old. He can still defend. Okay, Jamal Murray, if he's not consistent, Mike Conley can defend. Those are 2 upset watches. I'm not saying they lose to them. I'm not saying they can't go on a deep run. But do we trust them? Hell no. Hell no. And I love Jokic, but hell no. Okay? Not at all.
That's quite literally it. Like, I don't trust the Nuggets at all. I understand Jokic. Yes, he might be the MVP this year, whatever the case may be, 3 times MVP, right? Whatever the case may be. But I need more from Jamal Murray. I get that he was Jamal Murray and going crazy, Bubble Murray in the bubble, but even then, in the bubble, he was still inconsistent because after that 50-point game, what did he do? Right. Damn thing. And then he got hurt. So at the end of the day, I need to see more from the Jamal Murrays, from the Michael Porter Jr.'s, from the what the heck, Bruce Brown, or the heck his name is, from these supporting guys, from the Aaron Gordons, right? I need to see a team that shows me, hey, we're ready to win a championship. I don't want to see everybody looking at Jokic like, so what's up, big dog? What we finna do? Like, no, somebody go out there and do something, bro. Like, help the man out. He's not gonna. Obviously, we know, considering he got swept last year in the first fucking round, that he can't do it by himself, regardless of the fact that he's MVP or not. Like, they literally looking at him like,
you got gentleman sweep, but it's either way.
I mean, gentlemen, I'm gonna call it a sweep because at the end of the day,
I don't give a fuck what you call it. He lost.
At the end of the day, you didn't win. But my point is, it's like,
you lost.
My point is, bro, it's like you can't. My point is, well, shit. Hey, Katie got swept. Katie got truly swept.
Hey, but I'm telling you, you can't
truly swept.
You can't excuse KD.
I ain't hear you, boy.
I'm not excusing.
Excuse Jokic and then pressure KD.
I am excusing Jokic because
see, that don't work for me. That's a double.
It gotta work. It's not a double standard because
not even excusing Jokic, excusing the Nuggets, them team, the supporting cast. You saying they had injuries? Them you can't excuse.
You just bit down on my neck for saying they had injuries.
KD's injuries ain't an excuse because I called it excuse. But then say Murray and MPJ was injured and that's why the Nuggets. Nah, them dudes is inconsistent and they're injury prone. That team does not play.
Not winning. Murray, not yet.
I don't want to say Murray's injury prone, but he's definitely inconsistent.
Put them together. One's inconsistent and one's injury
prone. I got you.
However you want to look at it, but at the end of the day, they don't help. They star enough that in the playoffs they're not there.
Especially when people are looking to Jamal Murray to be that guy. If people are looking to Jamal Murray, people are looking to Michael Porter Jr. to be those guys, not the
supposed to have a three-headed monster, not
those guys. Like help him out, bro. Like where is Jamal Murray? Where is Michael Porter Jr.? I watched the game last night. We were down 9 in the fourth quarter and damn near came back on them because of their miscues.
Jokic, easy.
Because of their miscues.
It's Jokic, right?
Yeah. No. I'm not saying it's Jokic. What I'm saying is.
Oh yeah. Best player on the Nuggets. The system is Jokic.
But yeah, most definitely the best player on the Nuggets is most definitely Jokic. But what I'm saying is you have to be able to help your guy out at the end of the day. Yeah. Literally last night they almost lost because of the miscues of Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray. Mm-hmm. You have to be better in the stretch.
That's not Jokic's fault. I'm not
saying it's Jokic's fault. I'm not blaming it. I'm just saying they have to be better for their guys.
Blaming Murray and MPJ.
Stop looking at him and waiting for him to do something. When you guys are valuable players,
we're not blaming him, but he falls into it because he's the cog of the machine. So when the team fails, everybody's going to look at him.
He's not there though.
No, we're not talking about.
It should be a round of applause that the Nuggets beat the fucking Warriors last night without their best player.
No, regular season.
We're not.
It don't matter how they got it done.
We're not changing the discussion though. Like we talking about them being formidable in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why they're not is because one of their dudes is injury prone and one of their dudes is inconsistent, so we don't believe they formidable in the playoffs. It's not about Jokic. He does his thing.
When the last time you seen Jamal Murray in the playoffs? When the last time you seen Jamal Murray in the playoffs?
The last time I seen
that magical year at Disney. That magical year at Disney.
Okay.
Now let's go back. Keep it all in perspective. Was Nikola Jokic the same player in the bubble that he is today?
No, I'm not trying to say they should have been won it all the bubble year. We talking about the same way we did KD. Jamal Murray in the bubble year was, whether you want to believe that was his prime or he was, and Jokic wasn't ready. I'm not trying to go back to that. But now what Jamal Murray is, what Jokic is, Jokic is the better player, but Jamal Murray needs to be more. That's all we're talking now, not 2 years ago, not now.
One seed right now.
In the regular season, but was they the one seed?
The Jazz was the regular last year. Seed. The Jazz were the one seed 3 years in a row.
Wasn't they a top seed last year? Top 3 seed last year? The Nuggets
smackins.
Not last year.
Smackins. They were 6.
They were 6. Okay.
Yeah, they were 6 last year. Yeah, he finished 6 and won MVP.
It seems like Jokic gonna get them a top seed no matter what he do. Like that you could pencil them in for a top 5 seed no matter what none of the rest of them dudes do. I'm gonna keep it a beat. That's why he deserves to win MVP because
that's a maybe. That's a maybe.
You know what I'm saying? But they seem inconsistent. Like
he had a lot of help. His others stepped up too last year when he didn't have Murray and
he ain't had no lot of help. He
had some. Let's go.
I have a question. All right, do you think either one of those dudes are? And then I'm asking WAP this because I kind of know y'all answer. Is a number 2 or number 3 option on a championship winning team?
That has yet to truly be seen.
No, like I'm saying, you take him out. Would you? All right. Would you? If you take
now, I think they are number.
If you take,
3, yeah.
So you would take MPJ and put him on Boston or something for Jaylen Brown and think Boston wouldn't miss a beat?
No. Because I don't think
Bubble was what 2020, right?
I'm talking about take somebody else's second option that's a championship caliber team, right? And you go to the Nuggets second options and third options, and I promise you, they got the weaker second and third option out of the so-called championship caliber team. Out of
you might be right about that to a degree, but you can't. You might be right about that to a degree, but you can't. The roles will be different. You're asking Michael Porter Jr., who I think is capable of being a 20-plus scorer in this league. But the reality is, I know Jaylen Brown's a number 2 right now. I don't even know if Michael Porter Jr. is a consistent number 3 right now.
But you're saying what we're saying.
He is for the most part.
You're saying what we're saying. I don't think they can play because I don't. What you're saying is you don't know. Yes, you like. You're saying you don't even know. If
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I don't think neither one of them guys have to be quote unquote. I don't think Jamal Murray needs to be Bubble Murray if I know I got this version of Jokic. This is what I'm telling you. I don't need him to be looking like he's probably better. In the bubble, we didn't know who was the best player on the team.
I didn't say he. I said he got to be close. I think he has to be, and this is where I think.
Was it 2021 or 1920?
I think
1920 because I'm looking at it right now. 1920
has to be the best. The set has to be as good as the second best option on other championship caliber teams. That's all I'm saying, and that was close to Bubble Murray. That's why I said he got to be close to it. You know what I'm saying? He got to be Jaylen Brown-esque. He got to be close.
It can't be 19. Well, 19 was the bubble. That's what you're saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about
1920.
I think it's 1920. Yeah, because I'm trying to find it now.
That's all.
I was looking for last year
option, Bubble Murray, but he got to be as good as the second options on other championship caliber teams before I believe.
Jamal Murray need to average 23. He need to average about 23 points a game on some decent efficiency. Go ahead, OT.
Okay, yeah, and I think both of y'all understand each other, but I just want to kind of sum it up. Okay, it's just we don't know. We haven't, besides the bubble, which was a very small sample size, we haven't seen MPJ nor Jamal Murray for whatever reason play how we want to see him play. And to your point about Jokic saying we're hating on Jokic, we're not. I'm the biggest Nikola Jokic fan you'll ever see. But the thing is, when those guys don't step up, who are you attacking? The star player. That's who you're attacking. So because he can get attacked, because he's the main guy, they know that. That's why they're a liability. Not because he's a bad defender, not because he can't do it. Because when other guys don't step up, you're going to absolutely attack him with everybody you have. And that's why they probably won't go far. Unless those guys step up.
Oh, and they put him, if they go against Golden State, they're just going to do the same thing. They're going to put him in so many pick and rolls and tire his big ass out. It's not going to be.
Barbecue chicken.
But last year, Boo-Wop is what I want to tell you. Last year, regular season, 5 players over 10 points, two average 15. Playoffs, 1, 2, 3. 3 players over 10, 14, 13, 13. So for me, I'm not impressed by it at all. Me either. But what I'm saying is he has some sort of help there. And that's what I say.
That's not what that looks like to me.
It's not a lot. It's not a lot. But when we're talking about in the context of us talking about him winning games in the playoffs, he did not do that shit alone. That was my.
That's empty numbers. Them is empty stats.
I'm not going to say those empty. I don't believe in
empty. All right,
he literally won one game.
No, by himself. No, 100%. 100%. But I'm not talking about just against Golden State. I'm talking about the series before that.
Role players on the Nuggets, bro, like
because they made it to the second round. Didn't
I look at it as like this: any prime, if you're a real,
they got bounced in the first.
You know, prime Jason Kidd could make anybody a double-digit scorer. You know what I'm saying? And Jokic could take anybody and make him a double-digit scorer.
No, but that's fine. But what I'm saying is when we're seeing that a guy or guys are getting there and then that the help deserves credit too. Like Will Barton, I didn't even say the names. Will Barton is one of those dudes. Ain't nobody's going to sit up here and tell me Will Barton didn't play good last year. That he wasn't doing his thing for the Nuggets last year. That's why everybody was mad when they traded him away.
How good is he?
He's not as good as MPJ and Jamal Murray is supposed to be, but he held his fucking own.
How good is he really?
How he held his own?
That's my point.
How good is he really without Jokic?
How good was Richard Jefferson without Jason Kidd?
I mean,
because, and I know that's a crazy analogy, but Jason Kidd can make everybody a 10-point game scorer. Richard Jefferson and Kenyon Martin was in the finals with Jason Kidd. He became the 5th or 6th option after Jason Kidd. You know He had a year. He was the double-digit scorer with Jason Kidd.
Listen,
without Jason Kidd,
no matter what, the guy has to make his shots, right? I don't know what team is Will Barton on right now.
When you got somebody setting you up in the perfect spot where you just
you
can miss the shot, but that don't mean nothing. You can miss shots, bro. You can miss guys miss wide open shots. KD just literally said, "Yeah, I missed 2 wide open threes that
somebody got 4.
Somebody got that. Somebody found for him. He was wide open. The guy found. He's like, "Yeah, I missed 2 shots, but I'm a little rusty. I'll come back and I'll knock those down next time." Like guys miss shots. Like Will Barton deserves a lot of respect or a lot of credit.
He's on Toronto, by the way.
For being a guy that helped Jokic keep that team afloat last year. And I'm not going to take it as it's not a prep. That guy was doing his thing last year. I can swear he had a couple of 30-point games for the Nuggets too last year. And you could give the credit to Jokic making him better all you want, but he has to play it. He has to play it. He has to play that way. I'm giving him credit. I don't care what. I don't care what. I'm giving him credit. Jokic didn't do that shit by himself. Will Barton stepped up. Will Barton stepped up and helped him get that team to where they
make the shots. Basically, what you saying?
No, he had the ball in his hand.
He
had the ball in his hand, created his own shots. Like, stop playing, bro. Don't do that.
He stepped up and found himself.
Like, if you wanna say Aaron Gordon should have stepped up more, I would agree with you. But Will Barton ain't supposed to be that guy, and he turned into I can do this for now.
I'm not expecting him to do shit. What did he do, Troy? 14, 15 points a game. What is that?
That's right. For a role player, a bench player that's gonna step up into a bigger role, that's good. That's good.
I just need more consistency.
I can't even see your thumb. That's how dark it is. I can't even see your thumb, bro.
I'm not saying he got to be bubble Jamal Murray. I'm not saying he got to be superstar Jamal Murray. I'm just saying do something, bro. At the end of the day, stop taking bad shots. Stop taking horrible threes. You're getting better. You're getting good looks. I'm just saying play better. That's all I'm saying is for Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., play better. Because when I watched you niggas last night almost give up a fucking almost lose the game, quite literally almost lost the game because of horrible decision making, bro. Like that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying they have to be superstars. I'm just saying play better, bro. And even when your superstar is there, even when your guy is there, help him. That's all I'm saying. Just help him out a little bit, just a little bit.
Michael Porter Jr. Michael Porter Jr. I played stuff last night. What more you want from him? If I told you.
If you look at the numbers,
I told you I played stuff. What more do you want from him?
If you look at the numbers, but if you look at actual gameplay, hell no. Because down the stretch, Michael Porter Jr. took 3 horrible shots. Shots.
There's no way you're gonna convince me. There's no way you're gonna convince me that the Warriors without Jokic should not win that game. A must-needed win to win game.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not gonna say that shit. I'm saying that wasn't supposed to happen. Of course, I'm not gonna say that wasn't supposed to happen. What I'm saying though,
as of right now, but what I'm saying, as of right now, right? Last year we sent the Nuggets for the whole year without Murray, without Porter Jr. They was a 16. Jokic carried them there. Now this year with them boys back in the lineup, and Jokic is still playing the same type of basketball. They are clearly a better team. They're the 1 seed, been the 1 seed basically all year in the West.
His down, his points down.
Up until the playoffs start, like I can't really judge them like the way y'all kind of judge them. I need to see more. I'm seeing enough, in my opinion. I'm seeing enough from this team. They're better, and the only thing I need to do now is I don't think they're gonna beat nobody out the East. I think they're good enough to get out the West. That's it.
I don't even know that.
Anybody in the Western Conference.
But I don't even know that.
I know that.
Healthy Clippers, they don't beat them.
I know that. Based off
healthy Golden State, they don't beat them. Healthy Suns, I'm sorry, they don't beat them.
They beat the healthy Golden State.
No.
They beat the healthy Golden State.
No.
I don't know who. I don't know what a healthy Golden. I didn't see Golden State.
Like Andrew Wiggins, like that same. The team you saw last year, they're not beating that team. If they got to face the team they saw, they're not beating that team. And that's not even the best version of the team.
That's not my problem. That's not my problem. That the Warriors not the best version of themselves this year.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying. I'm saying in the version of themselves this year. If Andrew Wiggins gets back and everybody's playing healthy, I think 100% the Warriors beat down the Nuggets. I'm sorry. In a 7-game series in the playoffs where they have all the fucking experience and they don't know. Joker's going in a blender. Jokic is going in a blender. I'm going to smooth
that
boy out.
The only reason why you picking the Warriors?
No, I'm not. It's not only experience. It's because of what I said earlier. They're going to do the same thing they did to Joker last year. They're going to put him in the blender. He's going to go through so many pick and rolls that it's not going to be fun.
A lot of teams lose with experience.
Hey, that's fine. That's fine.
A lot of teams lose with experience.
That's fine. I thought the Warriors would lose with experience last year. They did. So I'm not saying it's just experience, but they know how to play.
Matchups last year too.
Who? No, 100%. And I just don't think the Nuggets the Nuggets playing the Warriors is a favorable matchup for the Nuggets. I'm sorry. I don't think that's a good matchup for them. I don't think the Clippers are good, fully healthy. I don't think the Clippers is a good matchup for them. I don't. Sorry.
They beat the Clippers already, fully healthy.
In a 7-game series?
Yeah. In the bubble.
This Clippers.
That was the Clippers.
Clippers.
Leonard,
I mean, they've added guys like Powell and Rocco, to be fair.
Talking about this Clippers, Russell.
The team is not. You're not going to convince me that the team is that much better or whatever you're going to do.
Yeah. You can say it's the same. You can say it's the same. I still think a fully healthy, disconstructed roster, fully healthy, the Clippers are a problem.
Because they were up 3-1, yeah. That's true.
They are a problem. They are a problem. But Jokic not being an MVP caliber player and still being able to beat them, and now he's an MVP caliber player, is a difference.
Yeah, I don't care about him beating them 2 years ago. I don't care about them beating them 2 years ago. It has nothing to do with today because teams change, players move, pieces move, organizations move, owners move, GMs move, systems change.
You're not factoring
I don't
the fact
care.
that Jokic got better. You're not factoring.
No, Jokic did get better. I'm not knocking Jokic for getting better. I'm not saying that.
Right.
I don't care if Jokic got better. It's not just Jokic. It's his team. It's a team sport.
Right.
I'm not just talking about Jokic. I'm talking about the Clippers as a whole versus the Nuggets as a whole. I'm taking the Clippers fully healthy. Both teams fully healthy. I'm taking the Clippers. That's all it is. It has nothing to do with Jokic getting better and he beat them 2 years ago. It's fully healthy. Jokic has his team. Kawhi has his team. I'm taking Kawhi's team. That's it. It's nothing else for me. I don't care how good Jokic is.
He beat him fully healthy.
Okay, 2 years ago. That's great.
Fully healthy already. He still beat him fully healthy already.
That's great. Sure.
All right, he beat him.
He beat this Clippers team fully healthy. Sure. Show me the tape. Show me the tape where he beat this Clippers team fully healthy in a 7-game series. And then I'll agree with you. Because it didn't happen. It didn't happen. Like we're bringing up 2-year-old stuff. What are you talking about? It's not.
So why you keep making
it's not the same
team from the bubble then? They could be better too then.
100%. But I said I need to see it. 100%. I never said they couldn't boo up. I don't know where you're going with this. We all agreed that the Nuggets, the Jokic and them could be a good team. We're talking about their system winning in the playoffs. That's the only thing we're knocking the Nuggets for. Nothing else. I'm not knocking Jokic for being a good player. I don't care about Murray's knee. I need to see what he can be. The only reason why I'm hard on Murray is because everybody gave him all that respect coming out the bubble. That's why I'm hard on Murray. I'm hard on MPJ like that because everybody gave that guy respect coming into the league, and he came in injury prone, and he has done nothing, but everybody keep praising him and praising him and praising him and praising him and praising him. That's what the Nuggets get. They get praise all day long. Praise all Jokic. He's best player in the league. Or he does all this. It's praise, 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 praise. But when you look at that team and how it's constructed, it's not a playoff winning team. And that's all I care about. They get a lot of
praise for getting bounced in the first round.
That's all I care about. The Clippers are a playoff winning team. If they're fully healthy, the Clippers can win a championship. The Nuggets fully healthy, I don't think going against every other healthy team, they can win a championship. I just don't.
Oh, and also, the Clippers were up 3-1 in that series. Paul George and Kawhi Leonard just shit the bed. I'm not saying that's an excuse.
No, I know what series he's talking about, and the Nuggets did beat him. It wasn't just Jokic that beat him. The Nuggets beat him.
Yeah. And the Clippers should have won that series in like 5 or 6.
Oh, they definitely should have won it 100%. Yeah. I know what series you're talking about, but the Nuggets beat them. It wasn't Jokic that beat them. It's the Nuggets that beat them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No one player beat them. Like I would say they beat themselves more than the Nuggets beat them.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly.
Woo!
They got one more time to get swept in the first round.
That's why I need you here, boo.
Or lose in the first round period, because
they're losing in the first round. And I just want what I want this playoff is I want Boston to beat the Bucks fully healthy so I can yell at boo up some more. That's all I want. Buop knows it too. He's not like Buop knows. Troy can't wait till the Boston beats him fully healthy. Oh, that shuts everybody up. That Chris Middleton last year, I don't hear nothing. Same thing here.
Tell them boys to go win the ring.
Hey, tell Jokic to go fucking win the ring.
I don't give a fuck if Jokic win the ring.
Right, me either, because he ain't never going to.
I just think it's unfair to judge him based off of his circumstances, his player. It'll be one.
But everybody gets that treatment. Everybody gets that treatment except for LeBron. LeBron gets the reverse of that treatment. Instead of it being blamed on LeBron, it's blamed on his teammates. Instead of us blaming Jokic's teammates or the construction of his team, we're blaming Jokic. The same thing happens.
I was gonna say that's the reason. That's the unfortunate reality of being a
superstar. 100%. Every other superstar gets it. When the Nets was doing bad, who got blamed for that shit? It falls on KD because KD is the guy over there. KD has to take it. It fell apart because that's not fair to KD. 100%. 100%. It falls on James Harden and Kyrie just as much as KD.
To go out there and play to their best abilities, bro.
100%.
Like, at the end of the day, that's all I can ask Jokic.
And Jokic does that 100%. You cannot take that away from him. You can't. But what I'm saying is,
to take it from him.
No, but what I'm saying is, just because he plays like this individually, does that not mean I need to then look at him like, okay, yeah, that can win me a championship? No, the team around him has to fit him, and that's what I'm saying. That's what we're saying about Jamal Murray and MPJ. That we don't know if that team around him is going to be able to win, including him, because he is the focal point of that system. When you're the focal point of a system, you take all the heat. Sorry, it has to be that way, Jokic. Sorry, everybody has done it. From the 50s
just like
to
a quarterback in the NFL,
to the 80s to the 90s to the 2000s, every superstar on the team took the heat for their team not winning. Jokic has to do the same. I'm sorry, but he has to do the same. It's not all on him. I agree with you, boy. It's not all on him. Murray wasn't healthy. MPJ's not healthy. The team, the camaraderie, pieces moving, new pieces coming in, coaching, all that. Like that goes into it 100%.
Don't you think it'd be fair to judge him after this playoffs though? Once we seen Jokic in this whole core, like it's unfair to judge him right now.
No,
I can understand that point.
I can understand it, but I see Jokic in his whole core in the bubble. And what happened?
I can understand that point.
I said, didn't we see Jokic in his whole core in the bubble? And what happened?
No, we didn't see this version of Jokic. No.
This version 100%, but I seen the core. What happened? Let's go back 2 years, man. We going back 2 years earlier. Let's go back 2 years right now.
You seen them get to the Western Conference Finals with that core.
And do what? And do what? Because Troy only cares about one thing. Winning and losing. So they did what?
Stop talking about Boston then. Stop talking about Boston then. Because they didn't
I don't talk about Boston. Boston hasn't been on the dock for like 3 weeks. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
They not on shit.
What are you talking about, Bo?
Shit.
What are you talking about? Don't make me go do it. Don't make me pull out the jewelry.
Not the ring.
Don't make me pull out the jewelry, boo. Stop it. Stop it.
You still living off that Boston ring.
Stop it, boo. You go get a ring because I got one. You go get a ring, boo, because I got one. I tell you the same thing. You go get a ring because I got one, boo.
I'll be holding up that 2010 Lakers.
What you talking about? What you talking about?
Not the ring.
Boo-Wop don't have a team. Boo-Wop don't have a team.
You go get a solo ring then, a 1v1 ring, because I got my ring.
I don't want no ring, man. I don't care. I just know you gotta stay consistent.
I bet you Jason Tatum get a ring before Jokic.
If all you care about is winning, then like why should I be enthused about Boston?
Nobody said anything about Boston. You bringing Boston into it. Nobody said a fucking thing about Boston. Boston has nothing to do with this conversation. What you want to do is, right, because I'm a fan of Boston, right? Because I'm a fan of Boston, you want me to apply the same things. What you want me to do is you want me to apply the same things. So you can see. So you can see if you're going to catch me. You're not, because I'm the most consistent player on this show. When Boston plays like shit, Troy says they play like shit. So what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Stay safe with Boston. Every series.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Maybe 7.
No, I don't. No, I don't, because that's what I believe it goes. That's what I believe it goes. Just because I picked, just because I
safest answer.
Because that's I can look at basketball. I can look at basketball different than you. I can look at basketball differently than you and tell you that these teams are going to push each other to game 7. That's not my fault. You can't see it. It's not my fault. You're wrong, Boo-Wop. Boo-Wop, it's not my fault that you're wrong. It's not my fault that you say, oh, Bucks in 5, and then Bucks go to lose in 7, and you're wrong. So you're like, oh, Troy's safe answer was 7, you know, because I picked 5 and we lost in 7, so that's the safe answer. Listen, if you're wrong, you're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. I was right.
I still got Celtics in 7.
All I can say is I was right. All I can say is I was right. All I can say is Troy was right, and we can run the tape on that. And we can run the tape on that.
You right about
we can run the tape on that.
Wrong about the rest.
No, I wasn't. I was right. I'm right about the whole thing. What are you talking about?
Wrong about the rest.
I had us winning the first round. I had us beating the second round. I had us beating the third. I had us winning. I had us beating the Heat.
I don't care.
And then I had us losing the Golden State. So I was right. What are you talking about? Let's run the tape.
You lost.
Let's run the tape. That's right. We didn't lose. We did lose. But I don't sit here and gloat about Boston going to the finals. Tell me when I gloat about
I don't remember none of y'all picking Golden State except like 2 people damn near early in the thing. And so I know.
Oh no, I didn't know. I said
maybe niggas claim they picked.
I can rewind the tape. I'm about to say the same thing.
But it's a lot of y'all that I picked.
What I said was
outside of me and Move.
What I said, you're right. You're right about that. But I can tell you what I said. What Troy said was, Troy said that, yeah, I believe Boston can win because they're hungry. But the question for me would be, does Boston hunger outdo Golden State's experience? That was my question. That's not a safe court. That's not me being safe. That's me telling you. I'm picking Boston because I think their hunger. You're right, Lamar. I didn't pick Golden State. I picked Boston because I thought their hunger was going to outlast Golden State's experience. But it flipped on me. I was wrong about that. I was wrong about that. And look, I can say it out my own mouth, but boo, not once did you say you were wrong for saying the Bucks in 5. Like, come on, bro.
I'm just glad we won the championship.
Like, you want to turn it on me because I'm a Boston fan and try to catch me up. You would never catch me up, boo. You can never catch me up, boo. You can never. You can never catch me up, boo.
Because I called it at the beginning of the season. As soon as Steph said, y'all don't want to play us next year, that's when I said we wouldn't win the chip.
Troy stays unbiased through everything, right? So you can never catch me like, oh, what about Boston? I'm gonna tell you the truth about Boston. Just a year ago, I was saying trade Marcus Smart. I was with him. I would tell you that. This year, I would tell you, don't trade Marcus Smart. Did I not sit on this podcast last year and tell you guys we needed a true point guard? Did I not say that? We need a 2-point guard. Troy can run the tape. That's me being unbiased towards my team, telling you, look, I don't like the constructor we got. And we made it to a fucking finals with that team. And I was criticizing the team. We lost. I don't bring Boston's finals up last year like it was something good. When do I do that? Point it out to me. When does Troy do that? Troy don't do that shit, boo. So what are you trying to pull? I'm trying to figure it out. You can't catch Troy, boo. You can't catch Troy.
You've been caught up, bro. Everybody knows this, everybody knows this. You've been caught up. You can't help it.
Show me where the Troy
you got a team. It's hard to be like truly unbiased.
No, I've shown it. I've shown it consistently have shown that I can be unbiased. Don't speak for me. Don't speak for me. I have consistently shown. Me and you can sit down and watch every episode. Boo-Wop. Me and you can sit down and watch every episode I have ever been on, and you will see I am consistently unbiased when it comes to my sports team. Unbiased. When Mel sat here and said, oh, the Giants were a good team, that the NFC East was a tough division, did I not fight him on that shit? I fought him tooth and nail on that shit because I'm not biased. I could agree with him like, yeah, Boston is the Giants is the top team. You can't catch me up, Boo-Wop. I'm sorry. Troy would never be caught up because I am an unbiased fan. I do not root for my team through all else fails. I mean, I do root for my team when all else fails. I root for them at their worst, and I root for them at their best. I'm not going to say they're a best team when they're ass, and I'm not going to say they're an ass team when they're good. Like, I criticize my team just as much as the next person. I root for my team just as much as the next person. I don't sit here and get myself caught up in team biases like, yeah, my team's going to beat everybody. I don't do that shit. So you saying, oh, safe answer is 7, so then, hey, you want to know why my safe answer is 7? Because my favorite number is 7. That's why I said Boston in 7. My favorite number is 7. Look, I can show it to you everywhere. My favorite number is 7. That's why I picked 7.
It's okay to be safe.
I just want everybody to know that this is what happens when you write off the Warriors and we go and win the championship. starts to put people together, put people against each other like this.
Nah, me and Boo-Wop do this all the time. This ain't me and Boo-Wop.
Shout out to the Warriors.
See, the thing with me and Boo-Wop is me and Boo-Wop always want to catch
pull their hair out. You know
this is the thing. No, this is
Steph
the thing.
Curry got them boys over there tripping.
I'm gonna take this from the side because I'm hot. But this is the thing.
Steph Curry got them boys over there hot, man.
This is the thing.
Off, dog. Steph Curry
it's
got
the whiskey,
hot.
bro. It's the whiskey I was drinking. But this is the thing between me and Boo-Wop. This is real. I'm gonna tell you this shit, right? Inside story. Me and Boo-Wop are probably the most two consistent people on this show, right? And Boo-Wop is mainly because he does not have a team, so he can be unbiased. He doesn't really have a bias, maybe towards some players when he likes them. But you can say Boo-Wop is very consistent, just along me. So what me and Boo-Wop do a lot of times is we try to catch each other up to see if we would stay unbiased. But Boo-Wop, no, I'm very fucking unbiased when it comes to my teams. I am. I just don't care. I don't care about being biased. My team isn't the greatest thing since bread. I'm sorry. Boston is struggling this year.
You just gotta apply that logic, though. You just
gotta 100%.
Like
I do though. 100%.
I'm 100% biased. I don't care.
Right, but did I come on here?
There's nothing to talk about then.
Right, 100%. But I wasn't the one who brought up Boston.
Hit California.
You were. If you never brought up Boston, I say nothing about Boston. I say not in this context, not in this conversation. Nothing is brought about Boston. Boston isn't even on the dot.
At the end of the day, but Boston at the end of the day has been healthy. They've been healthy at the end of the day. The Nuggets haven't. And at the end of the day, people show enthusiasm about the Boston Celtics. And I think it should be more so because they have more of a championship caliber team. I don't think the Nuggets truly have a championship caliber team. That's why I don't think they're going to win a title. But I do think we need to pump the brakes on trying to write them off in the first round like they haven't done enough this year.
I didn't write them off in the first
round. To show you that they can beat anybody.
I didn't write them off in the first round. And then to go back to your other point, Boo-Wop, talk to those people. Don't talk to me about it because I ain't doing that.
I'm talking to everybody.
Yeah, but me and you were in the conversation. You can't reflect that because I'm not doing it, though.
Troy, if they play the Warriors in the first round, who you got?
In the first round? I got the Warriors.
Right. Exactly. That's what I mean.
But that's not fair, though, Boo-Wop, because you're asking me in the first round. I literally said Boo-Wop, but for me to say the Nuggets in the first round will contradict everything I just said 5 minutes ago. I can't do that. I have to stick to what I say because I'm consistent.
Okay.
I have to. I'm not changing it. The Nuggets will lose to the Warriors 100% healthy. First round, second round, third round, or whatever other round you want to give them.
Okay. All right. So if you want to say they're going to lose to the first round, meaning that knowing that the Warriors have not looked like the Warriors all year long, that means to me, you don't respect the Nuggets. You don't respect who Jokic is.
I don't, but you know this about me. Boo-Wop, this has been 2 years of Troy disrespecting the Nuggets.
What I'm saying.
2 years.
All right. Okay.
What are you talking about, Boo-Wop? I got 2 years of tape of me disrespecting the Nuggets. What? This ain't nothing new,
we
bro.
Just like who we don't. We just like who we don't like. I get it.
No, it's not about liking really dislike, Boo-Wop. It's not about liking dislike. It's the simple fact that the Nuggets in that bubble, everybody started sparking it up like they were some high fucking quality type of marijuana, and everybody needed it. Like, nah, that's not it. That's why I talk about the Nuggets the way I do. It's because everybody hyped them niggas up after the bubble, and that's not like. Tell them to show me it again. If they do it this year, like you said, Boo-Wop, then I will change my stance. And I said that at the beginning of this year. Tell them to do it again. Do what they did. They're all healthy. Do it again. Make it to the Western Conference Finals again. Beat Kawhi and them healthy again. Beat Luka and them. Beat whoever you got to go through Memphis. And then I'll give them their fucking credit. But I'm not giving them no credit when the only thing they have to give them credit on is the fucking bubble. I'm sorry. I'm not doing it. I'm not. That's
I'm
just
not
me.
giving Boston no credit for beating an injured Bucks team last year. Fuck them.
I don't care. That's you. That's your prerogative. I don't give a shit. That shit don't bother me. What do you think? You gonna get some reaction out of me? You ain't getting no reaction out of me. I don't care. I don't care. I dropped my light and I'm trying to get it.
All this makes me happy because we won the championship last year.
Like that shit don't bother me, boy. Come on,
we talking about two teams that ain't done shit. Fuck.
Look, you want to equate. You want to equate us talking about the Nuggets to my team because I'm a fan team, but because you can't do that to the Warriors because they won last year. Get out of here, Boo-Wop.
I can't do it to no team that won.
Get out of here,
Boo-Wop. All I'm talking about is winning. All I'm talking about is winning, man.
Get out of here, Boo-Wop. Woo.
Nothing ass sons. I'm doing nothing.
I love Boo-Wop, man. Niggas out here like, damn, they fighting now. We not fighting. That's what we do. If y'all new to the show, man, smash that like button, man. Hit that subscribe button. If you're listening to us in audio, man, you got to come watch us. At least
you got to come watch us. You got to come see this energy live, man.
You can see what we're going through, bro.
Witness it.
This shit
it's
be
different.
Fun. Boo up and me always go at it.
Y'all see what the Warriors doing to these boys.
That's the joy man. That's the joy of having a personality like me and Boo Watts. We ain't backing down from each other. You feel me? Let's get to the last thing on the list. One real quick thoughts. LSU women's basketball team beat Iowa State yesterday. And we had a little bit of taunting afterwards. Some you can't see me, some I got a ring. What are you guys' thoughts on that behavior right there? Quickly.
Shout out to LSU, Angel Reese, Jasmine Carson, man, Alexis Morris, man. Shout out to LSU women's basketball, man. I don't care what anybody tell me. They deserve that. I know. And hold on, because I got to do this too as well. Shout out to Caitlin Clark because she is a baller. If you haven't watched Caitlin Clark, and this is for all the audience, whatever, if you haven't watched that girl go watch her play because I promise you, the girl is scary, okay? But shout out to LSU women's basketball. Angel Reese, she was out there talking her you know what, and rightfully so. Because they were saying all that stuff about her after her foot injury at Maryland when she was a freshman. So absolutely, Tokyo queen. You feel me? And I'm just glad that everybody wants to talk about how she acted, or how she reacted, or how the taunting and stuff like that. And bro, we talking about women's basketball. That's the biggest thing here, right? Y'all can sit up here and act about all the reaction and all the taunting and stuff like that. We are talking about women's basketball. That's all motherfuckers been talking about on the freaking on sports forums all day, on the radio, First Take, Undisputed, freaking First Things First. Everybody's been talking about the women's basketball. That is what they wanted. This is what we want. We want the same kind of rivalry. We want the same back and forth. We want that disrespect, that sportsmanship disrespect to where it's competitive. But at the end of the day, they going at each other's throats. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they're gonna shake hands after, but they going at each other's throats because they want to win. This is the kind of spotlight. This is the kind of attention that we want to have in women's basketball. And if people want to try to portray somebody as a bad person because they're in their bag and they got their emotions, wearing their emotions on their sleeve because they just won a championship, then you probably shouldn't be watching sports, bro, because this happens in every single sport. And I'm glad it's finally happened in women's sports, and turn up for all women's sports and women's basketball, man.
Thank you. I agree with 100% of that. Caitlin Clark deserves her flowers. She might be generational. I cannot wait to watch her in the WNBA. I'm so excited for that. The 40-point triple doubles, the point record, everything. She people that hate on women's basketball. I'm not in that club, but the people that did, they're watching. Yes, exactly what you said. They're watching women's basketball. I don't care if it's complaining. I don't care what it is. They're watching women's basketball. And to kind of piggyback off the LSU point, being in Southeast Louisiana, it feels so good. Angel Reese is the Bayou Queen. She is absolutely fantastic. People act like she's a bum. She averaged 24 and 16. Okay? She's not a bum at all. The whole team, everything.
And she's only a sophomore.
Exactly. She's still here for at least one, probably 2 more years.
Probably 2 more years.
Kim Mulkey's first year here, wins a title, first ever. It's absolutely fantastic. And, if you want to complain about the celebration, whatever, that's fine. But like you said, you're talking about women's basketball. It's amazing. It's glad they're getting pressed. And, I'm excited. Everyone, it's good for basketball. No hate to Iowa. LSU was just better. That's just plain simple.
Yeah,
LSU they're just better. It's awesome.
Boo up, anything to add, Lamar? Because we're gonna end it here. I was gonna to bring him in there, but I'll save it for next Monday. We passed the time. We gotta get it better. You want to touch on that LSU game?
Bro. Yeah. Shout out to LSU. It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, yes, sir.
Hey, that's right. They don't want. Hey, because I'm not in that box you want to put me in. That's right.
You feel me? Because I'm not in that box you want to put me in, man. You feel me? So I'm gonna go out and step outside that, John. And I got one more thing to say because Paige Beckers is coming back next year.
I love Paige. With
a vengeance, dog. Because she's dealt with 2 major injuries, 2 years in a row. Third time's a charm. She's coming back next year with a vengeance. So look out for Paige and look out for that Keelan Clark duel. Look out for LSU coming back for that repeat because I'm telling you, women's basketball next year, especially college, and even in the WNBA, it's gonna be popping. Y'all might want to tune in. If you really about basketball,
right.
You really basketball heads out there going to tune into some real basketball. Shouldn't matter who playing.
Let's get our asses out of here. OT, final thoughts.
It's awesome. Great being here, and hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit that like you're Chris Brown and that's Rihanna. Hit that bitch, okay? Hit it. It's awesome, man.
He said hit it like you Michael Jackson, nigga, with moonwalk.
Yeah.
So hit it like Michael did.
Oh my God! Line of the day.
Do it how Michael did. Cully McClurkin.
Line of the day. That was the line of the day.
That was. He said, Chris Brown hit me up. Listen, YouTube with just jokes. They're just jokes. Chris Rock, we're Chris Rock.
Yeah, just laugh.
Yeah, 100%.
Just don't smack us. You know what I'm saying? Just don't smack us. You feel me? Don't smack us.
Oh dang, that was the line of the day.
Lamar, you back? Final thoughts?
Woo.
All right, move it. Final thoughts.
Y'all know what it is, man. Follow the sports Twitter, from the sideline _5 on Twitter. Follow the sports Twitter, my personal sports Twitter, Sports Muru. Follow the sports TikTok at the Sports Muru FTSL. We got a lot of stuff coming towards you. We got the Wednesday show, Roundtable Talk with Gentlemen's Talk. We got the Player versus Team with Zamar's show. We got the Football Fridays. Y'all already know we here on Mondays. We
got TikTok Live Tuesdays, so we will be
TikTok live on Tuesdays and sometimes on Saturday nights.
We didn't go live last week, but we're gonna go live tomorrow.
Absolutely. Shout out to our iHeartRadio listeners, our Spotify listeners, our Google listeners, our Apple listeners. Shout out to you guys, man. Shout out to everybody in the comments. We appreciate you guys for stopping through, and come back and see us again next time, man. We appreciate you guys.
Lamar, final thoughts.
Yo, appreciate y'all having me back on the show. It's from the sideline, die out here. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Lamar Make It Wet, and I'm gonna be posting a lot of sports content from the sideline. Yes, you heard that name right, Lamar Make It Wet on all social media platforms.
Splash.
Boo-wah, final thoughts. I saved you for last because you always got a short one.
You already know, man. I'm still Lamar. That's a strong name.
Absolutely, you feel me?
He said what? Like YouTube again? It's only jokes.
We just joking, man.
We Chris Rock. Just don't smack us.
I make beats like water. You know what I'm saying? I'm a producer and my beats like water. So Lamar Make It Wet.
Hey, that's not how they taking it, but hey.
I know. Hey, but it's a conversation.
Hey, I'm your host.